Oh, well, hello there. It's your old pal King Waspinator. Welcome back to Total Party Skills. Good morning. It's early, just after dawn. A little misty out here in the country. And last night, I decided to delve deep into the dark side of my YouTube channel by looking at what's accumulated in the section of comments that YouTube is deciding to hide from both me directly and from, I guess, casual viewers. This didn't used to be an issue on this channel. Every once in a while, something that had a little bit too many cuss words or perhaps came across as a bit too aggro might find itself down there in that little digital gulag. But a whole bunch of stuff seems to have popped in since this channel became monetized. So I can only assume that the algorithms have kicked it up a notch for one reason or another. It could also just be because of the new terms of service that were coming online this year. So it's hard to say, but going back, they don't go very deep, and only to like videos around the time that my channel was starting to pick up steam because of all the OGL news. Most of the comments were from people like you who comment regularly, have comments back and forth even with some of y'all, but apparently you used the wrong word for dookie, or that old English word that can both mean to hit something with a stick or to put your pee-pee in a woman's wee-wee. I'm sorry, I mean a menstruating person's wee-wee. Chainsaw Subtlety had a comment in there that I couldn't really tell what it was that was wrong with it, except maybe it was a little bit too negative about gendering. The one that was really a surprise is that French fellow who had done that response video to me the other day, Reactionary Principle Gaming. There was an extremely long comment of his in there, had no cussing. There wasn't really anything in it that seemed to be denigrating anybody based on, characteristics or any of that kind of stuff. It was just a long kind of political screed. I guess you're not allowed to be pro-feudalist on YouTube. There wasn't anything in what he was saying that I even necessarily disagree with. It's just more outcomes and what you want to do with the fact that humans have that kind of feudal imprint and how our society kind of just naturally organizes. Do you give into it? Do you try to fight it? At this point, after so many centuries of fighting it, how do you go back to it? What's the selection process to choose a new nobility? How is that any more or less flawed than randomly picking politicians anyway through a democratic vote system? I don't know, and that's not necessarily the subject for me or our little French friend, who I'm assuming French. Who else says continuity like that? I guess he could be a Swede or something. But no one's starting the French Revolution here in my comment section. So what is YouTube protecting you from by hiding stuff like that? If anything, it could better contextualizes some of what he was reacting to in his reaction video. And without having ever seen that, it kind of undercuts the story, so to say, of what the interaction is and all that kind of stuff. So apparently, I don't know. It's just like that was the surprising one, because what exactly is it that the algorithms are looking for here to promote? Really, it's just weird. So I guess just try to avoid using naughty language, despite the fact that I clearly mark my videos as not for children. Some random 7-year-old might see your comment where you describe a big fat brown turd in too graphic of a fashion using that naughty language. In some ways, something I was saying to my wife a couple days ago in a completely unrelated conversation, but one of the great ironies of the censorship and the constantly chasing people from one set of terminology to another through political correctness. You got used to using certain terms to describe a thing, and then people have decided that that's now offensive. So you got to find a whole new term to describe the thing, which doesn't really do anything about the underlying issues of how people relate to the thing. Is this really a new phenomenon? English has always seemed to have this issue about having certain words within the language are just too shocking for the regular folks to hear. Oh my God, how dare you say such naughty language in the presence of the king? Or any of that kind of shit. I don't know. Do other languages have the same issue with curse words? In German, is Scheiße a bad word? I do notice that, quite a few people who don't speak English, you will see them incorporate certain English curse words into what they're saying. So you'll hear a string of someone saying a bunch of stuff in Japanese and fuck, son of a bitch, kind of a thing going on. Is it really just this uniquely English thing that we have these hardcore curse words that no one else has? Also, like, why are we the language that's so self-immolating over genderized language, for that matter? Speaking of German, like, there's a language right there that every last single physical object, you have to give a version of the word "the" for it that is either indicating whether or not, this socket in your wall is a male or a female, or you have words like, in languages like Spanish, where just about everything is genderized, and yet for some reason that's only attacking us. Huh. Just because we used to occasionally add tres or et at the end of certain job titles to denote if a woman was holding that job. Terrible, terrible, I say. But, perhaps I should say no more. It might be delving too deep myself into forbidden topics. Anyway, I just found it interesting. If you happen to notice that you had left a comment and you don't see it anymore, well, that's probably what's going on. YouTube doesn't want you talking about Dookie, doesn't want you talking about political ideas, I guess. Like, I really am confused about the Reactionary Principle Gaming's comment, because, like I said, I didn't really see much in the way of anything that was obviously aside from just bad-mouthing the concept of democracy a little bit. And, how are you supposed to, develop strong arguments in favor of your thing if you never hear anyone make any sort of negative case against it? I don't know. Is this really helping anybody? Is this protecting anybody? Why won't anyone think of the children? I don't know. Just more curse words. Curse you, curse everything. You hit that curse button down there so you can be cursed every time you see one of my curse videos. And until next time, go fuck yourself.